everyone! Today we're going to talk about earthquakes. An earthquake is a sudden rapid shaking of the ground caused by the shifting of Earth's tectonic plates. Earthquakes can happen without warning and can result in injuries and damage to property and roads. Aftershocks are smaller earthquakes that occur afterwards in the same place as the main earthquake. Depending on the size of the main shock, aftershocks can continue for weeks, months, and even years after the main shock. The Southern Whidbey Island Fault is a fault very near to us in Marysville. It stretches from near Victoria, BC across Puget Sound to the Cascade Mountain Range. The magnitude 7.4 earthquake modeled here for the Southern Whidbey Island Fault Zone is a shallow or a crustal earthquake. An earthquake like this would likely have several aftershocks which would cause additional damages. There are several factors that impact the strength, duration, and pattern of shaking. Those are the type of rock and sediment layers that the waves travel through, the dimensions and orientations of the fault and the characteristics of how it moves during an earthquake, and how close it is to the surface. An earthquake of this magnitude would cause many injuries, building damages, and economic losses. Additional impacts of earthquakes that can occur are tsunamis, liquefaction, and landslides. If an earthquake happens, you need to protect yourself right away. Wherever you are, drop down onto your hands and knees. If you're using a wheelchair or walker with a seat, make sure your wheels are locked and remain seated until the shaking stops. Cover your head and neck with your arms. If a sturdy table or desk is nearby, crawl underneath it for shelter. If no shelter is nearby, crawl next to an interior wall away from windows. Stay on your knees or bent over to protect your vital organs. If you are under a table or desk, hold on with one hand and be ready to move with it if it moves. If seated and unable to drop to the floor, bend forward, cover your head with your arms, and hold on to your neck with both hands. If you are in a car, pull over and stop, and set your parking brake. If you're in bed, turn face down and cover your head and neck with a pillow. If you're outside, stay outside and away from buildings. Do not get in a doorway and do not run outside. After an earthquake, expect aftershocks to follow the main shock of an earthquake. Check yourself to see if you are hurt and help others if you have the training. If you are in a damaged building, go outside and quickly move away from the building. Do not enter damaged buildings. If you are trapped, protect your mouth, nose, and eyes from dust. If you are in an area that may experience tsunamis, go inland or go to higher ground immediately after the shaking stops. Once you are safe, listen to local news reports for emergency information and instructions via battery-operated radio, TV, social media, or cell phone text alerts. You can sign up for Marysville alerts at www.marysvillewa.gov. Be careful during post-disaster cleanup of buildings and around debris. Do not attempt to remove any heavy debris by yourself. Wear protective clothing, including a long-sleeve shirt, long pants, work gloves, and sturdy, thick-soled shoes during cleanup. The best time to prepare for any disaster is before it happens. Practice drop, cover, and hold on with your family and coworkers. Secure heavy items in your home like bookcases, refrigerators, televisions, and objects that hang on walls. Store heavy and breakable objects on lower shelves. Create a family emergency communications plan that has an out-of-state contact, and plan where to meet if you were to get separated. Make a supply kit that includes enough food and water for at least 3 days. You can find more information online at www.ready.gov/earthquakes or on the City of Marysville Emergency Management page.